Coming up on AgweekTV, stressful winter-like weather takes its toll on the calving season and causes death loss. Plus, the effects on herd health will linger for weeks. We'll find out why folks travel hundreds, even thousands of miles to take in this farm toy store in northwest Iowa. And have trends from USDA's new Census of Ag. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Rook. This winter will go down in history as one of the toughest for many farmers, but livestock producers were hit especially hard. In this week's cover story, Jenny Schlecht visited a farm in south central North Dakota that had record snows on top of saturated ground to see how they're coping.
I'd say we're at a 20-year high for moisture. Our farm has hit, I think, 117 inches of snow this winter.
Terry Ulrich is the fourth generation on this farm near Ashley, so he knows what a normal winter looks like here. This wasn't normal. They got more than 2 feet of snow in the last 2 bomb cyclone storms, and that's on top of a wet summer and fall. It all adds up to trouble for man and beast as Ulrich works to calve out about 180 cows.
This is an emergency calving pen put together with panels. So we have an extra barn here, which is used for machine shed storage. We turn it into emergency cattle barn. The trees, the calving pastures have shelter belts in them, and they're all full of snow at this point. It's just very messy.
The NDSU Extension Research Center at Streeter also has been dealing with excessive snow. They set up calf shelters and windbreaks before the storms, but labor is the biggest issue in bad weather.
We're dividing the night shift into 3 different shifts, and as we're calving here, especially if the weather is a concern, we've got somebody out here just about 24 hours a day.
Ulrich says besides the fields being too wet to plant, many of the roads around him are flooded, so he can't get to most of his fields anyway.
The best cure for our problem is out here for farmers right now and ranchers is some sunshine.
Near Ashley, this is Jenny Schlecht for Adweek.
Jenny has more in the next Adweek magazine and on Adweek.com. A second bomb cyclone hit parts of the western Corn Belt last week, dropping more than 2 feet of snow in some areas of South Dakota. That resulted in dairy operations dumping milk and livestock losses. Necropsy cases at SDSU's vet diagnostic lab jumped this week with cattle and calf deaths from the weather event. That's according to Extension veterinarian Dr. Russ Daly.
I think producers really had some heavy death losses. We'll probably never know the number exactly how many cattle were lost. Part of that is due to the fact that I think we had so many cattle that were just kind of really on the edge, until that last storm hit.
He says the increased stress also has a long-lasting impact on herd health. He's seeing more scours and pneumonia in calves, and so producers need to monitor herds. Once the snow melts, it will also add to the mud in feedlots and decrease performance. The weather is delaying field work, and with the prospects of late planting, crop insurance will be more important than ever this season. Changes in the program under the new Farm Bill make it more effective for farmers in a year where insurance may kick in. The biggest difference is yield loss in the Ark County program will be figured on crop insurance data from the Risk Management Agency.
The Farm Bill directed us to use more internal data between RMA and FSA and NASS. So as we go forward, those changes will make it stronger. We'll have better actuarials to do a better job of pricing our products.
Farmers will also be able to use a multi-county enterprise unit if they have outlying acres that don't qualify on their own. The new Farm Bill also directed RMA to look at insuring more specialty crops and to conduct studies on how to provide coverage for crops like industrial hemp. Citing an abundance of caution, the National Pork Producers Council announced its decision to cancel World Pork Expo 2019 as African swine fever continues to spread in China and other parts of Asia. The expo is in Des Moines, Iowa, and hosts approximately 20,000 visitors over the 3 days, including individuals and exhibitors from ASF-positive regions.
The people that are coming are associated with the pork industry in their countries, and that just is one step a little too close for most of us to feel comfortable with.
Prevention is the only defense against the disease, so NPPC officials say they have no choice but to call off the event.
It's a very serious disease, and that's why if we're going to err on the side of precaution, because this is just something that we do not want to have break in the United States.
The cancellation is unprecedented and didn't even happen in 2014 at the height of the PEDV outbreak. However, Christensen says ASF is more serious than that disease. The National Pork Board supports the move because the U.S. ag sector can't afford to have ASF enter the country. The new U.S. Census of Agriculture was just released, and the trends are no surprise to most. U.S. farms and ranches are becoming bigger and fewer, but the overwhelming majority are still family-owned, and a majority aren't making money. The census is done every 5 years by the National Ag Statistics Service and is the most comprehensive source of info on U.S. ag. The census found there are just over 2 million farms and ranches in the U.S., down 3.2% from 5 years ago. About 77,000 of those farms made $1 million or more in 2017, but the average farm income was about $43,000, and only 44% of farms had positive net cash farm income in 2017. The census also found the average age of farmers has continued to rise. It's now 57 and a half, 1.2 years older than it was in 2012. The average farm size is up 1.6% from 5 years and now stands at 441 acres. And finally, 96% of farms and ranches are family-owned. The newly released census was conducted in 2017 and reflects conditions then. Ahead on AgweekTV, how some farmers are turning to their peers for help in making important decisions.
One of the things that Mosaic does really well is focuses on balanced crop nutrition in the premium products that we design. And one of those products is Micro Essentials, but it provides in every single granule a nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, in some cases zinc. We added sulfur and zinc with Micro Essentials because sulfur is one of the most deficient nutrients and zinc is the most deficient micronutrient. So our goal is balanced crop nutrition and being able to provide those products to the farmers in the world today.
Emerge with confidence this spring, knowing your crops are off to a strong start with a Case IH Early Riser planter from Titan Machinery. Case IH Early Riser planters help maximize yield potential with precision seed metering and a flat bottom furrow to ensure consistent seed depth and early uniform emergence. Early Riser planters from Case IH are available in a variety of sizes and configurations, including high-speed and stack-fold models. Contact your local Titan Machinery dealer today for more information on the latest from Case IH.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Big Boy Toys.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow pump features neoprene-lined turbine bearings backed up with a sand collar to prevent debris and grit, all to assure your pump keeps working season after season. Find out more at dynaflowpump.com.
Farmland values have continued strong, even in light of low commodity prices. It's a result of the overall short supply of land for sale. However, an expert on farmland market trends thinks more families will be willing to sell acres in the next 20 years. Randy Diggett with Farmers National Company says there is a generational turnover just starting to take place in farmland ownership.
It's going from one or two owners, parents or brother, sister, that, to multiple owners. And with that, they have to decide if they can get along as a family, which is the number one thing we see. And secondly, do they want to keep it as an asset or do they want to sell it?
He says many producers are also choosing to sell small pieces of land to stay afloat during tough economic times. A Minnesota company is helping farmers network through peer groups. Tim Schaefer founded Encore Consultants almost 10 years ago. He works in 3 main areas with farmers: transition planning among generations, scaling up for farms that want to grow, and organizing peer groups in the U.S. and Canada. Schaefer says peer groups help successful farms grow and help farmers solve problems.
Every farm has something that maybe they stubbed their toe on, or they haven't quite figured out, or they've identified something that's really holding them back. And it's really from there that the group comes together and helps solve that.
David Glintz, who farms in the Jamestown, North Dakota area, is in one of Schaefer's peer groups. He says it's been helpful in changing his thinking and how he does business.
There's some great guys in it that I trust totally, and a lot of emotions, and we went through it, and they said, this is what you need to do. You need to change your ways, basically. It was a wake-up call.
Schaefer started organizing peer groups in 2012. They're made up of about 10 farmers from around the U.S. and Canada. They meet twice a year at one of the members' farms. You can get details on joining a peer group in Micklepate's story on Agweek.com. The head of Land O'Lakes Dairy Cooperative says despite tough times for dairy producers, there are some bright spots. Beth Ford recently spoke at NDSU. She took the job at one of the nation's largest food and ag co-ops last July during a time of tough economic conditions for Midwest dairy producers. Despite low milk prices the last few years and many producers going out of business, Ford says there is good news in the new Farm Bill for dairy.
So I think if producers take advantage of the programs that are in there, I think that will provide some supports. As well, we're starting to see some carry in the market where you look at towards the back half of the year, and it's not a complete turnaround, but you see some lift occurring, a buck and a half, 100 weight, and we'll see if that holds.
Ford says she's also optimistic about tariff and trade issues being settled fairly soon to the benefit of the dairy industry. Up next on AgweekTV, a Minnesota man has a plan he says would help stabilize commodity markets. And later we'll take you to a store that might make you feel like a kid again.
How can one tillage tool handle most field conditions, residue types, and tillage practices? It takes a Renegade, the Summers VRT Renegade. Switch from vertical to aggressive tillage and anywhere in between. Adjust blade angles, tillage depth, and more on the go, all from an iPad. Get the tillage results you want, like only the Summers VRT Renegade can. For more information or a demo, contact your Summers dealer.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gallon Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota, with new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Liddell, Mike, or Chris today at Northside Implement or visit our website for our complete equipment listings.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
If the bearish numbers in the recent USDA reports have you concerned, you may be interested in one man's plan that he says will stabilize the commodity market. Ellen Rebke was a big Minnesota farmer in the 1980s and a sugar co-op mover and shaker. Rebke says his plan for corn, wheat, and soybeans is what the sugar program does for sugar beets. He thinks farmers need the government to raise commodity loan rates significantly and increase ethanol in gasoline mixes.
This is sound economics, and it is a major effect in the marketplace to react to China's tariff situation.
Scott Stoffren was a key player in writing farm bills while working as an ag policy specialist for North Dakota Senator Kent Conrad. He says the Rebke plan would likely have little effect on prices, and he doesn't think the funding would be approved in the farm bill.
I'm not sure that it solves any problem with regard to really pushing the market up higher. And certainly the Congressional Budget Office is going to score this as pretty expensive.
Rebke was convicted on federal charges for selling grain under CCC loans in 1999, but he says he did it to prove a point about low loan rates. You can read more about Rebke's plan at Agweek.com. This week's Crop Stop takes us to east central North Dakota near the small town of Doyen. Ron Sievertson has been farming since 1974. Sievertson, his wife and son raise grain on about 3,500 acres in Ramsey and Nelson counties and have about 125 beef cows. They've been busy calving for the last month, and he says he's in better shape than many because they didn't have as wet a fall as many farmers around the region.
We had some rains before it froze up, but not a lot. And so we got all our ground work last fall, even the corn ground. That was good, I said, for a change, especially with a winter like this and going into a spring like this.
It was pretty dry last fall. We worked a lot of ground that we haven't got through since the early 90s, I would say. Hopefully with this enough moisture this winter where it's soaking in and should have enough to get the crop going anyway.
Ron says they're hoping to get into the fields around May 1st. Well, is that even possible? Well, here's John with our agri-weather outlook.
This is the second consecutive year that March and the first half of April across southern Canada, northern plains, upper Midwest has been cold, wet, and miserable. Last spring, the second half of April into May turned nice. There are signs that may be happening again. The forecast going forward, there's really an absence of really genuinely cold air. We are, of course, still dealing with some active weather, April showers, and a few stray storms around the region will need to be watched for the potential for heavy rain. But overall, we are looking at a milder, more typical April pattern. The difference is the dip in the jet stream out here in the North Pacific. For the first time in months, Alaska has cold weather, and that jet stream placement is allowing much warmer weather up into the northern plains. Now, every day is not going to be hot. Every day is not going to be 70 degrees. But 70 degrees and 80-degree days are starting to become much more commonplace in the upper Midwest, northern plains, and regular old summertime heat is setting up at times across the south. There will be no real cold air intrusions into the area for this week, and looking ahead to next week, it looks like the pattern will stay essentially the same. Little bit of a dip in the jet stream into New England will bring some cool weather. That may simply allow sometime around early May an even stronger surge of very warm weather into the Great Plains. So it looks like spring has arrived. As far as precipitation goes, it does look kind of stormy down in the southern plains and up the lower part of the Ohio River Valley, let's call it, the lower part of the Corn Belt. There will be showers this week off and on in the northern plains, upper Midwest, most of them not excessive. Next week, signs are showing early in the week, late April, a wet system coming up into Iowa and Minnesota could bring some excessive rainfall, and it still will be wet in the southern plains. But overall, these rains are generally favorable and unusual. The next 2 weeks along the west coast looks entirely dry.
With the all-new GreenFit system from Ricard, plug and play is finally a reality when using John Deere AutoTrack guidance with existing new products like the Challenger 1000 series or all-new C-Series Rogators from Butler Machinery. GreenFit is an authorized navigation interface that utilizes existing John Deere AutoTrack guidance system to steer most Challenger tractors and sprayers. GreenFit eliminates the worry of learning and converting to a new steering system when buying an industry-leading Challenger from Butler Machinery. Learn more about GreenFit at butlermachinery.com.
Farmers take pride in growing safe, affordable, nutritious food.
And since over 90% of U.S. farms are family or individually owned, keeping land and animals healthy makes sense for all of us. If you have questions about the food you eat, talk to the people who grow it. North Dakota farmers and ranchers are your best source for reliable facts on food and farming. Visit findourcommonground.com and become part of the food conversation today. Brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Checkoff.
When the water's high and your yields are low, 'cause your fields have no place for water to flow. Just one call takes care of it all. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage. Experts in
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
Every spring, farm toy enthusiasts come from all over the country to the Lamar's Toy Store for their annual open house. Some people travel hundreds, even thousands of miles to the little northwest Iowa town. So what's the big attraction? We talked to some of the customers to find out.
My mouth dropped wide open.
That's the reaction Johnny Sanders had the first time he stepped into the Lamar's Toy Store. He came all the way from Glasgow, Missouri to add to his 900 tractor collection.
I bought a 1066 Custom today up here, and it's just like one we bought brand new years ago, and then the John Deere 4955 is just like the one I got now.
Charlie Lloyd comes every year from Ames, Iowa, and says he always sees something new at this one-of-a-kind toy store.
It's unique. It's the largest collection of tractors I've ever seen. Most stores anymore don't have the real stuff.
Oregon farmer Brian Cranston traveled over 1,700 miles to find farm toys he can't buy online.
Pretty much toys that since I've grown up farming and I farm now, basically the equipment we buy. So that's kind of what I'm looking for.
And the Says drove 2.5 days from Ontario, Canada to add to Paul's pedal tractor collection.
We heard about this place being famous, I guess, so we wanted to see what it was about. So that's why we showed up here.
And the store greatly exceeded their expectations.
Quite unexpected. When we looked at the outside of the store, I didn't expect to see so many inside.
It doesn't look like much, but once you come in, you're in for a big surprise. It's as simple as that.
So if you're looking for the stuff memories are made of, they say it's definitely worth the trip. In addition to selling thousands of toys, the store repairs and custom fabricates toys. We'd like to know what you think about Ag Week. We've put a survey about Ag Week magazine and AgweekTV on our website to get input from readers and viewers about our content. Your answers could help shape Ag Week's future. It will only take a few minutes, and you'll be entered in a drawing to win a Yeti cooler. You'll find it at agweek.com until May 15th. Still ahead on Ag Week TV, some top chefs go hog wild for pork.
Do you have a vested interest in land?
The upcoming Great Plains Land Expo is a must-attend event for landowners, developers, mineral interest owners, farm operators, and investors.
Join us on Wednesday, June 26 in Fargo as we hear from a variety of industry leaders speaking on topics relating to land, energy, and minerals.
You'll discover ways to capitalize on agriculture and energy opportunities and learn how to become a better steward of our natural resources.
Early bird rates are available, so register today at GreatPlainsLandExpo.com.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
When planting season comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. This spring, keep your planters rolling with a user-friendly seed tender from North Star Ag. We have seed tenders for every sized operation from Meridian, Unverferth, and J&M. North Star Ag also sells a variety of Valmar spreaders, the leader in air boom delivery, and is a full-service Meridian hopper bin dealer. Visit NorthstarAg.com to see our complete new and used equipment inventory or give us a call.
Dig, lay, and bury drain tile all in one pass with the Crary Tile Pro Plow. The Crary Tile Pro Plow lays tile up to 7 feet deep with boot sizes of 4 to 12 inches. Advantages of installing drain tile to your field provides increased overall yield, improved soil moisture levels, and controls soil erosion. It pays to tile with a Crary Tile Pro. To locate a dealer near you, visit www.crarytilepro.com.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
10 chefs from the Sioux Falls area competed with their most creative pork entrees in the 31st annual Taste of Elegance contest. The annual pork culinary competition put on by the South Dakota Pork Producers Council is a great way to promote pork to chefs and consumers alike. The South Dakota Pork Producers Council Taste of Elegance contest continues to introduce the versatility of pork to chefs and consumers. The contest allows chefs to push the creativity envelope, which has led to more pork on restaurant menus.
I very rarely go into a restaurant and not see something usually really different. I mean, we're not just getting the old pork chop anymore. And that's the kind of stuff we're trying to highlight here, too.
The winner was Chef Nicholas Skyeski from Avira McKinnon with the Vietnamese pork pho.
We did it all with pork for the event, which is very exciting for us, and it gave it a really unique flavor profile that a lot of people here have never tried before. We've had a lot of good feedback on it.
The array of flavor profiles and cooking styles makes pork a popular protein with chefs and consumers.
Very versatile. It holds up to many different cooking styles as well, from a sous vide concept like we did here to a grill or an oven roast. All work very, very well.
The fact that pork is so versatile, I think it's really working out to our benefit in having events like this, because people are taking it home and saying, I want to try those flavors.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgweekTV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the Agweek app. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next week.